Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Top Clack. Hopefully, you can hear me. We are currently at our AirBnB for the Seattle meetup,
right?
And this is pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? We're literally in the same room for the first time ever on stream.
Yeah, you guys can finally compare what Jay looks like with what I look like.
This is how big of a man he is. Look at the size difference. He's fucking huge.
I'm kind of a bear, but anyways, hopefully you guys can see and hear everything. We had to make a lot of adjustments, unfortunately, so nothing's going quite perfectly as we planned. But hopefully it's good enough.
For those of you with purple chat access as well, you'll see just how janky the setup is here. But it's comfortable. We're doing all right.
It's acceptable. It's acceptable. Yeah. We're kind of working. How do you think sound, everyone? Does everything sound okay?
Yeah,
this is our first time
using. Sound these guys. Yeah.
First time using this mic. First time using this setup. So let us know how things are looking and sounding. Hopefully it's okay.
LBI Bass says, "What an absolute unit." Yeah. Shame not all of them's like that.
This is a Twitch stream, Jay. Jesus. That's a little hardcore, but that's okay.
It's good. You can hear it's fine. Yeah, it might be a bit echoey because there's quite high ceilings here and stuff like that. So
we're in a very large room right now with pretty high ceilings. So there might be a little hollow sound, but it is what it is. We're trying to make the best with what we have.
Yeah, what's the camera like, guys? Can you see us all right? Is everything okay there? I know we've got the light behind. We're probably a bit dark, but hopefully you guys can see us okay.
Yeah, we got some daylight behind us.
Looks like a random video. That's fine. That's kind of what we're going for.
That's good enough for a bullshit episode of Top Clack where we're not at home.
Looks like a ransom video. Who we ransom?
Oh, ransom.
Who we ransom? Geo. Is that who we're going to ransom?
Who's going to pay that?
Yeah, so we do have one of our moderators, Geo, in the Airbnb with us. He's behind the scenes.
Give us a wave on camera, Geo. Come and wave on camera. Come on,
what?
Man.
You're such a beautiful man.
No. Just give a wave on camera.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, he's working the back scene for us, making sure everything's going well. Pilot says, say hi.
Go on, you can at least shout hi.
Hello.
Brian looks like a locked character in a video game.
That might be the best compliment I've ever gotten.
Right? He does.
You know when it's shaded out and you have to unlock?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what he looks like. Yeah.
I like it.
And our Bigfoot says, "Hi, Geo, back." He's waving at you. He's waving at you, but you can't see that.
PMSing Chicken donates 200 show love bits. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
Appreciate that. In these hard times of Airbnb streaming, it's greatly appreciated.
It is. Yeah, this is such a jank.
It took us way too long to get this set up and working properly.
What you guys can't see on stream is that right in front of us we've got 3 chairs and a table with laptops and TV screens and anything else we could find around the Airbnb place to set ourselves up.
There's a chair right here where we're hosting the stream from Geo's laptop.
Yep.
It's currently sitting on top of a cutting board for better airflow. Then right in front of me I have another chair. This one has a keyboard with a mic really, really jankily hooked up to the top of it.
It's tied by its own cable.
Yeah, we tied it on with its own cable, right?
So this is just hashtag streaming life right now. Then we have another chair over here, which is unnecessary, but Jay's resting his feet.
I've got my feet up, yeah.
And he's just lounging.
And then on the right of that, we've got the TV screen from the actual Airbnb. We've dragged it over here, and that's where we're reading that's where we're sharing the news doc from. But then we've got all of our stuff that we need to share the show and to talk about in our talking points on my laptop, which is why it's angled so Brian can see it. It's sat on my lap, so janky as hell set up, but it works. Right?
And on my lap, I have another cutting board. We're using 2 cutting boards here, guys. This is a 2 cutting board stream.
Twice the cutting edge.
Yes, absolutely. We're really going balls to the wall here. And then I got a mouse mat with a mouse on top of it, so I can actually drive the stream somewhat. This is really, really rough, guys. So please bear with us if there are any issues.
PMSing Chicken says need more lights to your faces. There's literally nothing we can do to change it because
this light next to me is already on, but it's not even really producing light.
There's a light inside of me, but it won't. You had to unplug it as well.
I don't know where the switch is, but for that light, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think
it probably won't help.
And it's not like we can get rid of the light behind either because there's no curtains to draw. It's just these thin net things. That's all we've got. So.
This might be as good as it gets.
It's says such a quality stream. Yeah, it was fucking amazing, right? Dixie says it's amazing. Yeah, so there you go.
If Dixie says it's amazing, we must be doing something right.
Luna Summer as well with a tier 1 sub. 15-month streak now. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Don't have Geo come on camera. Sounds like it may risk the whole operation if he trips. Yeah, there's a couple of cables. If he trips, it would ruin the stream.
Yeah. There's a lot of cables.
There's cables every fucking way.
It's pretty bad. But we definitely appreciate you guys joining us. We wanted to go live a little bit early, of course, as usual, to make sure everything is actually working okay. And it seems like we kind of lucked out here, even though it is as janky as it is. We're going strong.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you being here with us.
Absolutely. Dixie says, when is Gio going to walk past the window outside? Gio, when are you going to do
That's what you should do.
Cameo coming past here? And Luma Summer says, why not turn on the lamps? Well, that one is turned on.
This one is on.
This one can't turn on because we had to unplug everything to get the power cables for everything else we needed. So
We've thought a lot of this through, trust us.
we tried. We tried, guys. We tried.
Yeah, it is the way it is.
What we should do is we should turn our phone LED lights on for the cameras and shine them up at our faces. Maybe that would help.
Okay.
Like if I do that, does that help, guys? Does that make it better or worse?
Is it like we're telling like campfire horror stories?
Yeah. I feel like it does nothing.
It probably does nothing. It's not even worth it.
No, it's not.
Not even worth it.
Captain Schwa subscribed at tier 1. Subscribed for 23 months, almost at 2-year mark. We're almost there, guys. Almost there.
He says, now kiss.
Now kiss.
Is your wife going to be upset?
Yeah, she's watching.
Oh. Because I've played this game before. Okay, I can see the chat a lot better on your screen. So I'm just gonna
okay, alright, okay, cool. Turn around the window with window behind cameras. We can't. So we've looked at doing that, but we've only got one Ethernet cable, and where the laptop is where the laptop has to live. So we've moved half the furniture around to fit where the laptop goes. Yeah, so we are very limited. This was the best option.
If you went that way, you have another window anyway.
Yeah, and there's windows on both sides, so we'd have to turn it around and show you the rest of the room. Which, if you could see the rest of the room, there's like a kitchen table with like 20 keyboards on it right now, and then the rest of the kitchen. But then Gio would have to be on stream.
Yeah, we're trying to get Gio over here. It is worth noting that we are going to be trying to do some chill, kind of casual streams as well, whether it be after this one, sometime tonight, sometime tomorrow maybe, or both.
Yep.
That is very possible. We're just going to have to kind of reset things up. But now that we know that we can actually get a working stream, it makes it a lot easier. So we're going to hopefully do some kind of chill hangout stuff once some more other, the rest of the crew gets here. There's only 3 of 8 people attending at the moment, so. Yeah,
I think there's definitely going to be a plaid, as you call it in America, or plaid as we call it in the UK, build.
Plaid.
Yeah. So I think we're going to try and do that.
Yeah.
You've got a...
I'm going to be rebuilding my X60 with Holy Pandas.
Okay.
That's the original Holy Panda board, so that's going to get a little bit of a tune-up. Still sticking with the same switches, but it needs a new life.
If I can scrounge enough parts, then maybe a Keycap build as well, but probably won't do that. We tried to look at that yesterday, and we didn't have enough parts between Brian and I to build that as well, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Kelly says hi. Hi to Kelly as well.
Twitch is being done for him. Wait, is it Twitch being done or is it Kelly being done? Because neither would surprise me.
I miss you, Kelly.
You're a lot meaner when you're like next to me in person. I feel like
this is what I'm like, real life, man.
This is what you're like, really?
Real me, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about you anymore.
Oh,
Yakbats subscribes with Twitch Prime for 4 months. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Big hearts there.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice.
All right, so I guess we know everything's working well. We could probably actually start this.
Yeah, should we jump into the news doc?
Well, first we could talk about. Normally we do a mail call, but obviously being an AirBnB, we don't have anything except for all the keyboards that we brought. But we can show those off on stream another time.
Yeah, and you'll see them at Seattle meetup as well if you come in. So
yeah. Yeah, so no mail call today. Just a couple basic announcements, of course, the usual stuff. 24-hour stream still coming soon. And we are still doing the Purple Chat subscriber Twitch banners on our Discord server. So if you're in Purple Chat and you have a picture that you would like to see in the rotation for the server banner for Top Clack's official server, make sure to tag me in it. Even if I don't reply, I still will save it. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, and we'll change that after the stream today as well.
Yeah, since Jay messed it up earlier.
I didn't mess it up. It's fine. It's fine.
You're something else, man. Let me tell you that. We just had several subscriptions actually. Super User 4, as well as Kelly87, and Nebulant. Thank you guys very much for the subs. Appreciate that, gentlemen.
Kelly said, Jay's a weeb, spread the news.
Jay's a weeb? Jay is not a weeb.
Yeah, no.
Jay is not a weeb. I'm a weeb. Jay, not so much.
Yeah, and Nebulant's hit the year mark as well. 12 months there. That's crazy. It's awesome.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Will there be a live stream at the show, the Seattle show? I don't know. We might do something briefly on phones or something like that. We might be able to do like a quick mobile thing.
It's possible. There is a chance that if Tiny T is in attendance, she will be streaming the meetup.
Yeah.
She does have a habit of doing that. She likes to carry around a streaming setup and like a GoPro, and she just streams meetups. She's done this for multiple Seattle meetups and multiple California meetups, and I think Keycon as well. So if she's also at the Seattle meetup, you could probably catch her streaming. She's awesome, and yeah, we'll probably be hosting that too if she is. So
if nothing else, I'll do a few little quick videos and edit them together into like one kind of video and get that up on the channel as well. Because you guys seem to really like the pub unboxing of the gingham that we did. There's been quite a few good comments.
I'm surprised that got as much attention as it did.
Yeah, because it's a really crappy video, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun, it's different.
Yeah. Well,
I thought you'd tell me to take it down off the YouTube channel, actually.
I wish I would have at least seen it before you put it up. But it's fine. It's fine.
See, Eskimo pub unboxing was great. It looks like Tiny T's not going, she's busy this weekend.
Oh, she's not going? That's really unfortunate then.
Why are people wishing me happy birthday? It's not my birthday.
It's not your birthday?
No.
It might have been for the 1-year renewal.
It's Jay's birthday, I heard.
You might have heard wrong.
Yeah, they did this on. Someone mention this on my last build stream as well. It was like, it's your birthday. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like March is my birthday.
I don't know why you're surprised that Twitch chat is trolling you.
Happy birthday. That's a nice play on words. I like the happy birthday.
Birthday? That's pretty
That's
cute.
pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah, I like that. Anyways, we're rambling a little too much here. Let's actually head over to our news doc, which isn't terribly long today, so we should get through it in a breeze. Just bear with us, guys. There we go.
There we go.
Ooh, second time's a charm. We got this. We got this, guys. All right, let me swap.
Janky as hell setup.
So I'm trying to run the stream on this laptop to my left, and I'm trying to see what's on the news doc.
And then he's trying to read the show notes off my lap.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pay attention to 3 screens at one time here, and it's a little difficult, but we'll get through it. We will get through it indeed. So here is our first topic of the day. This is interest check for the LZ Code T.
LZ as well.
And this one caught me by surprise because it's LZ doing something that isn't a full keyboard.
Yeah.
For starters, and as you can see in this picture here, which looking good, it does use a joystick. It just dawned on me that I never actually really tested it when I finalized it. So, but it does look pretty good. So yeah, we got a joystick here, which he does say is a
PS4 one, right? Yeah.
Let me find. There we go. Such as PS4. So you can use a PS4 joystick here and 2 presumably Cherry MX switches here.
Yep.
And if I can find the other album, there we go. Sorry about our slow internet, guys. We do have a USB hub on here as well. So you have 2 USB hubs, or 2 USB ports rather, on there as well, which is pretty cool. This is a pretty decent piece of tech, if you ask me. I think this looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it looks great. It's worth noting as well that the MX switches are hot swappable as well, so you can put whatever you want in there too. I think this looks really useful for like loads of video editing stuff and using the thumbstick from, zooming in and zooming out. I think that's a really clever idea. I'm surprised we haven't seen something like this before. Yeah,
I feel like this is going to be something I'm going to have to try to get in on. It could be pretty limited, knowing LZ.
I don't know. I mean, I think if I get this set up right, it'd be great for streaming, where if I want to zoom in with the camera, I can just use a thumbstick and use it to zoom in and zoom out. Great little tool, I think.
Yeah, I like this. If it's supposed to be like a clear version, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's like a clear,
like a polycarbonate or even like acrylic version would be pretty darn awesome. Very kind of reminiscent of old school video game consoles. Some of the ones like Nintendo 64, which have done the translucent colored consoles. I like that a lot.
I agree. Like if you could get like a purple polycarbonate one, like the old Game Boy
exactly,
version, that would be spot on. But this could be really. I'm seeing this as more of a useful stream tool because I could use the analog stick for zoom in and zoom out, and the left and right to transition between screens. We just have them set up to macros, so flick from one screen to the other. That could be really useful for both of us.
That could be pretty smart. Maybe we'll have to get a couple of these. We'll have to attempt to at least.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know. LZ sells stuff pretty quick because
it's
brand
life zone, right? It's just going to sell. Yeah. So just in terms of some other details as well, you can have the aluminium top and bottom as well, but you also have the option to have a steel bottom of the case as well, which comes in a chrome coating. So if you want that bit of shiny, sparkly goodness in your life, you can look at that as well. And in terms of colours, you can get black, grey, red, blue and silver, but that's not fixed, so maybe some changes to that too. All in all, I think this is a great looking bit of kit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really curious to see what kind of price we can expect here. He does not have the price up yet, obviously. So I don't know. What do you think something like this would go for, knowing it's from LZ?
Knowing that it's got PlayStation parts in there as well, it's a little bit more complex than the average macro pad. I'd guess somewhere a little bit north of what the Ocelot was. It's that kind of quality. Maybe $130, $140, something like that. I don't know what you feel like.
I feel like just because LZ boards tend to be more expensive, I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. Obviously, he's been doing this for a long time. He's a veteran in the community, and he's done a lot of very successful keyboards that people like to pay a lot of money for. I hope, for that reason, if this is not a $200 or $250 product.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see the price go that high. I'm not sure at that price it would be worth it for me.
Yeah, I feel like once you get, maybe past 175, this doesn't seem quite as attractive in terms of value. And you know I love my raw value. You know!
Value for money.
Also, shout out to 159 who subbed at tier 3. What a homie. For 9 months in a row. Thank you so much, man.
9 months, man.
Isn't he on a plane right now?
No, it got delayed by a bird.
Yeah, it's delayed. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know it was delayed by a bird, but I knew it was delayed.
Delayed by a bird. What an interesting reason. All right. Cool. Yeah. So we'll have to check this out once it actually reaches the group buy state, and hopefully it's not something that sells out within seconds.
Yeah, I think that'd be. I don't think it'll sell out in seconds. I think you're gonna have to have a really thought out use case for it, because it's quite a specialised macro pad. It's not like just a 3-key macro pad. It's got something that needs to have a thought out use for, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, the use of the analog sticks pretty clever, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is something we're starting to see a little bit more, like something other than keys on your keyboards.
We both said something the other day on the last stream that we did, that we'd like to see more innovation. There we go. That's
right, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've been seeing a lot more knobs on keyboards with stuff like the Satisfaction 75.
Love a good knob.
A lot of macro pads with knobs now. Like, that's getting a lot of functionality and a lot of time to shine lately. So analog sticks could be pretty awesome as well.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Our community should be able to handle it.
Out of interest, I wonder why he went for the PlayStation one rather than the Xbox style one or the Nintendo Switch style one or something else, because there's quite a few different options.
It's true. It could be price, could be accessibility, could be that's what he likes, could be all three, could be more. You never know. Anyways, we'll check this out again once it does actually reach the group buy format. Cool.
Okay, just a couple of shout-outs before we jump on to the next one as well. Japanese Horror Writer, 1,000 bits. Thank you very much, dude. We love those spooky bits.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
And Polly Zoo as well says, subscribed for 3 months for 9 months, on a 3-month streak, and says, "Cheers, guys. Glad to see you streaming." Well, here we are, man. It's that together. It's on the little love couch.
It's late. It's a little whack our setup right now, but we're trying to make it work, and hopefully that comes through.
Sick One says, just tuned in, liking the casting couch. It's the little love seat, right? We had the choice. We could either sit on the love seat where we're nice and close together, or we could have brought the actual couch over where we would have been a lot further apart.
Yeah, see, Gio takes up the entire couch himself.
Yeah, he's just got the whole couch to himself. He literally takes a whole.
We're over here being lovebirds on the love seat.
Absolutely, right?
And this is a relatively comfy couch, too.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Shout out to the couch. Yes. Well, Jay and I just wanted to be closer,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're like inches apart here. It's keeping that chemistry going, guys. Right. Amir subscribed as well. Subscribed for 4 months on a 3-month streak.
Thank you very much.
Will you hug by the end of this? We've already hugged.
We can hug.
We can hug, yeah.
Want to hold hands or something? Like, what makes you guys happy? Are we gonna get more subs for this?
Boobs on Twitch, right? That's how you do it, yeah.
Anyways, back to our actual show.
Yeah, right. Let's move on.
Yep. So this is the group buy for the RoPro, a compact 75-key ortholinear keyboard. So this is by the Royal, the same people that have brought you the Romac
and the soap
and other related products. So this is a 75 key. I'm not going to say 75% because that's not really the case.
Yeah, it's not.
I guess you could argue it one way or the other, but this is what it looks like here. Nice little. We were just talking about knobs.
Knobs,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've got to say that I love his choice of background image as well. The fact that he's got the jigsaw and he's got everything. I kind of like that.
I was gonna say, I think we need more pictures and/or renders with keyboards on puzzles.
Yeah.
Something about this is really,
cool.
really fun.
Yeah. Some really, really great cars in there. I like it a lot.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the specs.
Yeah, so it's 75 key, not a 75% as Brian mentioned. QMK PCB with rotary encoder. It's only compatible with the Elite C, not the Proton C, so it's well worth bearing in mind. You have to get the Elite C for this one. You can get an RGB underglow add-on, and you need to use PCB mount switches as well because there's no plate with this, so it's literally just a PCB that you mount onto. And the PCB has black, white, or blue configurations. And in terms of the group buy for this, it's going to run from Friday, July the 19th through to Friday, August the 2nd. So that means it's already out there, guys. You can buy it now. And the cost for the base kit is what, $35? I think I saw.
Yeah. So the base kit here is going to be 35 USD plus shipping. Relatively inexpensive. Obviously, that means you're going to have to provide all your own switches, your controller. Again, the Elite C is the only one compatible with this particular keyboard. So yeah, looks kind of interesting though.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's pretty cute.
It's really cute. I think it's really cute. I like the fact that you can see the Elite C there. The fact that it's got that quite visible. It's nice. It's interesting. So slow internet, guys. Apologies.
Yeah, not the greatest internet here, unfortunately. But you know.
It reminds me of builds like we did the Gingham quite recently. It was 2 PCBs and things like that. A lot of old school boards used to do that as well. So I think it looks quite cute.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of style of board fell out of style, and now it's kind of trending back in, like stuff with like the plaid, the gingham, the Romac, and now we're seeing this.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
So I mean, this is kind of gaining some popularity, guys.
Yeah, I mean the price helps as well, right? Keeping a custom keyboard to $35 plus other parts. I mean, realistically, what you're talking like $75 to get a fully working keyboard plus caps.
Yeah, I mean, you could get like some cheap KL or Gateron switches.
Yeah, 15 cents a piece, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Elite C, I think, I don't know, it's probably around 25 or is it 30?
$30, I think.
Maybe a little bit less even.
Yeah, could be less.
But yeah, I mean, well under $100 gets you a running keyboard with probably get that rotary encoder too. I don't know how much those cost actually.
The rotary encoders themselves are like £1 in the UK. So
so pretty cheap.
$2, something like that. Yeah, per unit.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this looks great. I think it'll do well. The Royal's a nice guy. I've chatted to him a little bit. He I think this will do really well. I'm excited to see it.
Definitely. So that's in group buy still right now, guys. So if that's something you want to pick up, the link is in there as well. Have you been posting links in chat too?
I posted the first one. I haven't posted that one actually. I'll just do it now. Okay. Sorry guys, Yankee setup and just completely forgot to post the link. Let me post that in there now.
We're just running a really whack 3-screen setup. It's no big deal.
There you go.
The amount of my neck's gonna hurt so bad after this. I have to look so many places. Man, it is what it is though.
Just making sure we haven't missed. Oh no, we got Amir's thing. I was just looking for subs and things as well there, but no, we got Amir's, so we're good. So next up is the Alpha 65, right?
Yep, Alpha 65. Thread is by Sinoponis.
I'm going to do the link now before I forget.
Yep. Hey, it's better sooner than
better sooner than at the end, right?
Yep, absolutely. So this is a 65%, and he is claiming isolated gasket mount. So with that in mind, we can kind of take a look at this pick and see how he's accomplishing that. So he does have the tabs cut out here. Presumably, this is where you're going to apply bump-ons, either on the case portion or the plate portion here on these little tabs. Got some relief cutouts on the plate there. Looking pretty darn fine. Supports very very limited 65% layout, but this one is kind of a popular one anyways, so not too big of a deal. Can you move the news doc back?
Sorry.
I'm like trying to say stuff to fill time while I'm waiting for the specs to be on screen.
Sorry, I didn't realise you would back.
Work with me, Jay. Work with me, please.
Oh, just reach over and touch my lap, and you'll be all right. You're all right. Yeah. So it's named after the first letter of the Greek alphabet, obviously being called the alpha. We usually see alpha being used for early versions of things, where this is going to be kind of for the finished product. It does have the logo in the top right-hand corner, which is very similar to things like the 910, and a couple of other boards have done that quite recently as well. It looks like that's a brass insert. I don't know if it mentions it in the IC anyway, but it looks like that's some sort of brass insert. Looks quite nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah.
But it is isolated gasket mount, sandblasted weight and badge, 6.5 degree typing angle, and the front is only 16.5 millimeters high.
Which is quite short. 19 millimeter is generally around the standard. Yeah. So this is definitely a very kind of low profile board. I don't mean that in terms of the actual case design. I mean in terms of the actual height.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing as well is that in terms of plate materials, you can get alu, brass, and
palm.
He's actually written in the news note that he gets hyped about this.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Because, well, I mean, everyone already knows that, pays attention to Talk Fact, knows that I love palm a lot. It is currently my favorite plate material by a large margin. Like, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Like, the margin is, like, off the screen. So I was really, really happy to see that here. I love that people are kind of starting to embrace and potentially test out this. Because we haven't really seen it in anything else before except for the Sirius, which hasn't even shipped the production line yet.
Yeah, either that or where people have had custom plates and PCB plates made for boards and stuff. Like I've got one for the Cypher and 159's bring me one for the JO1 and things like that. But unless people have gone out of their way to get one, we haven't seen it in a group buy yet, right? So. Yeah,
exactly, other than the Sirius. So still very, very new, but I am super stoked to see it. I think it makes boards sound incredible. It's such a deep, thocky sound that you can't get with any kind of metal plate.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And what do you think is the colours that are available as well? Because I've got to say that red looks very similar to the Profit Red, which is a really nice colour. Which is the same as a Q Red from Quantric. But
yeah.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah, pretty nice looking colours. Weight design?
So that looks like the logo design.
I was just gonna mention that, yeah.
Yeah, of
Revo.
It looks like that. It also looks like the DCS Twilight Keycap set, right? That had almost that exact same image as a logo. I'm going to try and get this.
I'm pretty sure the Revo 1 also had that as a design.
DCS Twilight. I'm sure it was called that. Oh, DCS Midnight Key Set. Sorry, DCS Midnight Key Set. So I'm just, again slow loading here, but. Where's the novelties? Oh, hold on.
Yeah. You had it.
Which was it? This one. There you go. So you can see that it's the other way around, but it's the same logo, right?
Yeah, that is. It's a wolf howling at the moon.
There we go.
Essentially, maybe someone in chat can tell me. I'm pretty sure the Revo 1 also had the same kind of design. So we can't really pay too much attention to chat during the news portion because it's
because we don't have
we don't have enough screens to really effectively do this.
It's screen real estate that we're missing out on, guys. Screen real estate. You guys kind of looked out because of the backlight. Can you turn off the sun? I wish we could, but
Yeah, I guess it's probably
that's probably going to make it work. I mean, the thing is, there's no curtains up here. If there was curtains, we would be able to shut them and it would be dark there and we'd be alright with the light in the room. But we can't even change walls because that wall has a window right there, and there's a window right there, and there's a window right there, and there's a window through there as well. So there's just we're just surrounded by them. So
making the best we can. That's what we have.
So Melodet's actually linked to the Revo board.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to see this.
Again, the web page is loading. It's taking a... no, I don't want that. Go away.
Master, please.
Why can't you get rid of that? I literally can't get rid of that. I don't know. Anyway,
you can kind of make it up there.
You can kind of see it, yeah, the wolf in the mouth.
Sort of.
It's kind of like a dog. It doesn't have the mouth up. It's more of a dog shape, I think.
Yeah.
But it's similar. It's similar. It's themed on the same thing.
Anyways, we spent way too long trying to figure this out. But the wolf art on the weight, because I like wolves.
Fine.
Fair. You give us a reason, right? I like it.
Yeah. And the idea that the alpha in the wolf pack is the strongest as well, of course. That gives it more credence. It backs it up. Yeah. What I would say about this board that I really do like is the way it's got the grips on the side, that nice curve that they make on the inside. They're almost like smoothed in and curved at the back. I think they're really, really nicely shaped. It's better than like the standard koala style side cutouts that we've seen. Yeah. The only thing I would bemoan about this is there's no ISO support for the board. Yeah, you can just touch my lap, man.
I have been.
But you can touch it on stream this time. People can see this time.
This is so risque. Anyways, so again, that's the Introspect for the Alpha 65. Looks pretty good.
I think it looks nice. If this would be a must buy for me with the wing keyless blocker on there, if it had ice support. That's the only thing I would ask for on this. But other than that, I think it looks like a great board.
Yeah, good colors, wing keyless option,
Gasket,
gasket, isolation mount, palm plate.
That's me.
It's
a winner, right?
This is like the current stuff.
Yeah.
Like wing keyless blockers,
that
now the palm plate, top blocker is 65.
Yeah.
This is like what 65% want to be right now. I feel like in this community.
No, excuse me. That's me.
All right, cool. So we'll check that out again once it does hit the group buy stage.
Nice.
Next up, we have an interest check for the Cygnus.
Cygnus, yeah.
I'm assuming is going to be how that is pronounced.
Are you going to get down with the Cygnus? That's a terrible joke.
Oh. that one left a bad taste in my mouth.
He literally does take a drink. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I thought that was
I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen.
I'm gonna see what chat's saying about.
Oh, don't worry. Eskimo in chat hit us with the wah.
Yeah, I can't do that noise.
Oh man, that song is awful. Anyways,
this board looks like it features from other boards that exist and put them all together. Nothing special to me personally. Oh, interesting. Dixie's already.
That was about the alpha.
Oh, was that about the alpha?
The alpha.
Oh, right,
I imagine. Anyway, so why don't you tell us a little bit about the Cygnus, Jay?
Yeah. Okay.
Before you get down with it.
Before I get down with it, yeah. So here's the Cygnus before I get down with it. If we get one of these for the build stream, we're going to have that song in the background, right?
We get copyright strike for it, but yeah, I guess so.
Why not? It's worth it, right?
During the stream, we could play it. Just out of like a loop for like 3 hours.
Okay. So this is a TKL type layout, but it's missing the function row from across the top, guys. So it's basically like an extended 60% with TKL mods on the side, or a TKL without the top F row. It has a Swiss cheese plate, apparently for Megaplex, which we'll take a look at in just 1 minute when we get there. Double gasket mount for sound dampening and isolation. So this is where it's got gaskets above and below the plate, so it's like the number 2 in effect,
or like a lot of other gaskets.
Yeah, like the Bauer that we saw on Nathan Kim's stream. You could look at the Kepler and the JO1. They're kind of very similar, although they go all the way around. It's kind of like the same idea, but you've got above and below the plate isolation.
Just a quick aside here. I feel like we really need to nail the terminology down.
Well, we shouldn't even be calling
gasket.
them gaskets in the first place, in my view. But it's an accepted lexicon, right? We call them gaskets, fine. But you're right. We should come up with these are the different ways you can implement a gasket, like O-ring resting, where you rest on an O-ring. You've got isolation, where you've got above and below the plate. Yeah,
because there are so many ways that accomplish effectively the same thing, and they're all very, very similar. We don't need 13 different ways to describe a board. I feel like we can nail this down like just a few.
Double gasket to me is just isolation gasket because you're removing any contact of the plate with the case. Then there's kind of like the number 1 revision.
It's really easy. If it doesn't touch the metal or any other material from the rest of the case that isn't a gasket, it's isolation now.
Yeah.
However you accomplish that is irrelevant. It's isolation.
Sure, I'd agree with that.
You call anything else dampening mount. Is that too many syllables?
No, I think dampening's actually a pretty good descriptor of what the O-ring does, right? For O-ring, that's kind of exactly what it does. It dampens feel and dampens sound to an extent. I think that's exactly what it does.
Yeah, definitely. Antonio Margaretti did a sub with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you so much for that, my friend.
Dixie's saying we've done this and talked about this before. So Dixie and I had a couple of really long chats about what should we call these mounts. This conversation we're just having here.
It's a good discussion.
It is, and it's one that, as a community, we're going to have to nail down pretty quickly before we have 30 different naming conventions for what's effectively.
Yeah, because then we have
result,
we have bagel, we have burger mount,
which is the same thing.
We have people still say gasket mount, obviously isolation mount.
When do we get croissant?
Now we
something like that?
Yeah, now we have double gasket mount. Is this like a double cheeseburger? Because I like double cheeseburgers.
We have. Do you know, I've been in the US for 25 hours now. I've not had a burger yet, man. This is upsetting to me.
We can remedy this tonight. It's fine. We'll figure this out. We got a grill back there. We can make burgers.
Cool.
Anyways, tell us a little bit more about the specs of this one.
Okay. So the PCB, interestingly enough, is MX only, but it comes at a 1.2 millimeter thickness. This means it's going to be really flexible in terms of the type you feel from a PCB. But the fact that the PCB isn't mounted to anything, as far as I can tell from the renders and looking at the design, I don't understand why they've used the 1.2mm PCB for it. Because normally when you use a thinner PCB, because you're going to mount on the PCB, so you get the more flex on the PCB. Right, like we've looked on the IDB60 prototype, that's PCB mount, therefore you're getting the flex through the PCB. Given the fact that this is a plate mount board, the plate's going to be the limiting factor, so I kind of feel a bit indifferent about that on this board. I don't know how you feel, man.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty accurate. I mean, the only way you're really going to benefit from additional flex in a 1.2mm PCB is if you have a plate that can also support something very similar.
Or if you have a half plate, right?
Yeah, half plate, yeah. Or something, because, you know, the whether you're going to be limited by the plate or the PCB, something's going to be, you know, resisting that flex.
Yeah.
And, you know, oftentimes it's going to be like a metal plate.
Yeah. In terms of plate, does it mention plate on here? What materials or options for this? I don't think it does. It's not in the news doc notes.
No.
So there's no mention on plate options either, but it does say it's going to be Swiss cheese plate for Mega Flex. For me, if you want the most flex out of a plate, you go half plate for the alphas certainly, and take that out.
Yeah, he does have a picture of the plate somewhat.
But yeah, the plate's just got cuts in it, right? It's just got
so he's got relief cuts. Which will help with acoustics. It'll affect how it sounds. Yeah. It won't really affect how it feels. 1.5mm brass is not really going to flex. It's very firm. I don't know why people think that there's like flex in brass or steel or even like aluminum plate. You don't really get that much flex with. Like you might get a little, but it's so much less noticeable than other materials. So yeah, you're not really going to get a very flexy brass type experience.
I would guess that if you used a 1.2 or 1.5mm PCB with that brass plate, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
I would bet money you couldn't tell the difference in terms of flex.
I'd be surprised if you could even measure it with the gyrometer or professor for it.
Yeah, definitely. He does claim it's a flexible brass plate, though. I
don't see it.
I changed my mind. Prove to me that it is. Let's see a video on this or something. You know, it's you can say whatever you want in renders, but you know, when it comes to actually.
The only relief cuts on here that are large enough to make the plate flex are the ones between the 60% and the TKL. There's two vertical cuts there. They're large enough that they will add flexibility. But the ones that are only 1MX Keycap tall, they're not going to affect it enough to add flex to that plate. There's nothing on the horizontal line either to add flexibility, which is traditionally the way that we do it in PCBs, for example. So.
It's true. So let's take a look at the actual way he has the gasket mounted here, which is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, so the top mounts over this, so it's a seamless design almost. So just so you bear that in mind, guys, the top goes over the top of this, so it covers all of what you can see here. Right. In terms of the gaskets, you can see them on the left and the right because the board's only supported at the top and the bottom. But effectively, what he's got is effectively what we've seen on the Kepler, right, in the JR1, the isolation mount. So you've got three strips of material. You've got a piece of material that the plate rests on top that's at the bottom. You've got a piece that goes around the outside of the plate to isolate it for movement laterally up and down. And then you've got a strip that goes across the top that isolates it from the top case. So it's effectively the isolation mount is what we've seen in any other word, above and below and around the plate as well. The difference here being that instead of doing it on on all four sides, it just does it on two sides, which is the top and bottom. I think depending on the material chosen, it'll feel like any other gasket mounted board.
Which is good.
Yeah,
I mean, isolation mount and most other gasket mounts tend to just be a better typing experience than otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, moving away from some of the technical aspects now, what do you think to the looks of the board, Brian? What are your thoughts on the looks?
I think it's pretty good actually. I don't think it's necessarily anything unique. It doesn't really look that different from a lot of other things that we've seen on the market.
I mean, like the logo. That's nice.
The logo is good. It's
really good.
I don't know. It's nothing necessarily new, but it's nice and it's elegant, and that's okay. And plus, it's called the Cygnus.
Yeah, which is a great name actually. It's a
pretty cool name.
Yeah, I do like
pretty
that.
Cool name.
I think I'm not a fan of the LED indicator on the top. So I think one of the pictures with Nord on, just a little bit further up, there's a picture with the indicator LED on the top. I'm not really a fan of that. But other than that, I think the looks are fine. I prefer a TKL without the afro. I think that looks nice. I like the sides. I like the fact that it's got the angled base under there. I think it looks alright. I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
Nice wide bezels. That's all me as well. I love the wide bezel. So.
Yeah, so what about this layout, though? Do you think this layout is actually, like, in demand right now? Are people asking for this?
Most people who want a TKL want it because they want the Afro, right? That's got to be the reason that they buy it over 60%.
Yeah, so on boards like 60%, you often get them because you want a smaller board, you know, from side to side, not necessarily top from bottom. Yeah, exactly, horizontal instead of vertical.
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of benefit did this really grant you over just having a TKL?
Less keys. I don't know. I mean, we've seen boards that have got the 60% and then a numpad at the side of it. So we've seen like a lot of 96 keyboards and things like that, which usually do have an Afro in them. But we have seen things like the UK 78, which doesn't have the Afro and still has that 96 key layout. I think this is just an iteration of that, but instead of putting a numpad on there, they've put the TKL mod functions on there instead. I think it looks nice. I think it'd be interesting to try it. I don't think we've seen it before, so more innovation is good, right?
Yeah, definitely. I do want to address something here because that could be pretty important. So he does say he was trying to get this in the VIA configurator.
Yep.
And apparently, according to him, VIA is not taking any more boards.
Yeah. Now, I know they've not been taking boards for a little while, but people have been able to manage to build it themselves. It's just not being forced into done a PR into the actual QMK repository. So you can do it like private. If you take the files, you can massage them yourself and tweak and change them, but it's not published publicly on the QMK folder and repository, which, you know, it's kind of understandable because it takes a lot of work to get them into VIA, and it means that, you know, Olivia and Wilbur and the few people that do have access rights to it do have to do a lot of work on the back end. They're busy still adding features, so I kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's such a huge improvement for the community to be able to control stuff on the fly and change your layouts on the fly that I would like to see, if possible, that it's open source so that everyone can do it and anyone can just do a pull request, have something added to it directly. That's kind of where I'd like to see it get there. I know there's a lot of technical challenges to get there, but that's kind of like the end game of where I see VIA going. Yeah.
I mean, that's the idea, right? You want everyone to be able to have that level of ease, that level of accessibility, that level of comfort, because it really is just, VIA is just amazing. It's, you know, so intuitive and so quick. But I don't really ever want to program any boards another way. So ideally we have something, whether it's VIA or something else, we have that.
Yeah, I mean,
very accessible in the community.
Yeah, I mean, the boards that have VIA on them, it's just so nice just being able to use it. It's immediately for changing the layout and things like that. Yeah, I'd like to see it on everything, to be honest, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I think we've talked about that one.
Yep.
Last section.
Let's move over to our first key set of the week, and this is an interest check for GMK Firefly by user Emir.
Yeah. Before we talk about the set, if someone mentions Firefly to you, what's the first thing that jumps out at you? What's the first thing you think of?
The Joss Whedon show,
exactly,
Firefly.
Right?
Amazing series, and
fantastic
also great
series.
Follow-up movie, Serenity.
Yeah.
Great sci-fi stuff going on there.
Yeah.
But obviously, being a super smart person as myself, I have to realize that just because it's called Firefly
doesn't necessarily mean it's
associated with the show. Because this set would kind of lead me to believe that it is not. It is actually centered around fireflies themselves, which we don't really have out here.
We don't have them in the UK.
I used to live in Pennsylvania when I was a kid, and we did have them out there. We called them lightning bugs there as well. Okay. But same kind of thing. And it was fun. It was fun. You just play around outside, and they're all.
You catch them and put them in a jar and.
I had before, but then I kind of felt bad.
Fine. Yeah, we don't have them in the UK, so I don't think I've ever even seen one in real life, actually. Maybe I've not. I don't remember seeing one.
I know what you're Googling after the show. Anyways, let's talk about the key set itself.
So I think the first thing is it's quite easy on the eyes. I think it's a relatively nice looking colourway. That dark is it? I'm not sure if it's a dark blue or main colour. I'm not sure what the actual colour is, but in all the renders it looks like a dark blue to me, like a navy blue.
Yeah, I mean I'm the colourblind.
Yeah, I'm not why I'm sure I'm looking at you asking that question. But every render I look in, it looks like it's a blue. So I'm just kidding. I know he's got the colour code on here. It's a RAL Plastics P1 series, which is RAL 5011P, which means nothing to me, but it looks like it's a nice dark blue. I do really like that peach. I know we've seen peaches and cream quite recently, which is another peach key set, which it's a colour that's not used often enough. So having that for the alpha colour legend is quite nice, and I think it matches quite well with the blue that's used on the mod colour legends as well. So I think it looks alright.
I think the set looks really good, honestly. I'm a really big fan of this particular color setup.
I'm disappointed that we don't see sets where the mods and the alphas have the same base colour. We don't see that very often.
Yeah, a lot of people seem like really unwilling to go that route.
Everyone seems to want to do different coloured alphas to modify keys. I think we've seen like terminal and nines, and you see the white on black and the black on white. But other than that, you don't really see any key set that's got like an accent to it. Seems to have different coloured alphas and whites.
Yeah, and nines was also a key set design that was by Amir, the same person who's doing this set. So maybe he's just more of a fan of doing it that way. Maybe. I like the approach. It adds a lot of character because we don't have a ton of sets that are continually coming out that are like that.
Absolutely. One thing I would like to say as well, though, is these renders. These are freaking insane, right? How good are these renders?
Also,
look at the background on that one. It's just unbelievable.
Also, you know what I really like about this this render setup that we don't normally see very often? He has the renders in a variety of lighting.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Normally, when you see renders, the render person will just render everything in the same lighting.
Yep.
And that's cool, but not everyone has ideal lighting. In fact, most people don't. So, when you actually see a key set or you're taking your pictures or you're streaming or whatever, like, not everything adds up always.
Yeah.
Not everything looks the way it does in the pictures when you, buying a key set. So, really happy to see, like, some of this shadowing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and some of the kind of, like, smoky almost effects and things like that.
Yeah. Like, so, really, really, really cool. I love.
You can see this one. That's a really good one, actually, because you can see it's got the shadow going across the keycaps. So some of the keycaps are in the light, some of them are in the dark. You can see that literal shadow moving right across the board. It looks great. Yeah,
and it's like it's such a small thing, but it really pays off because it gives you a slightly better idea of how it could potentially look in the environment that you're going to put it in, as opposed to a perfect ideal scenario.
Yeah. I think it looks good. In terms of compatibility, you've got your standard TKL functions. You forgo the numpad. You do have Sangan bottom row if you want to get 7U loveliness in there. You can also put 65% and HHKB as well as ISO out of the box. And then in terms of other kits, if we just scroll on to the other ones, you've got an additional kit which gives you numpad, some extra compatibility keys, and then some spacebars as well. So numpad and spacebars.
Cool. So keeping it down to two kits here, with a potential Nordic kit there as well.
That would be amazing if we could see that. I think this has got quite a lot of potential as a keycap set, so I'd like to see that as an option. If it doesn't make MOQ, it doesn't make MOQ, but let's try it around.
Yeah. This interest track is really good, by the way. Not only just because of the awesome renders with the various lighting. Everything's really clean, really well explained. He's got the RAL colors here. And this is also something I like seeing a lot. When you actually do a direct comparison of your set that you're selling here, or previewing
so Firefly at the top here.
With other sets.
So you've got Firefly at the top, and then you've got Metropolis, Nord, and then Dracula underneath.
Yeah, awesome. Love that. Because, how many times in the community do we see someone put a set out and they're like, oh, that looks like this. That looks like that. Here are some other sets that people might say the same thing about.
Yeah.
And they look pretty different to me.
Yeah. So maybe this is something you should do, Dixie, when you get accused of copying Olivia every time.
Yeah. Although the Olivia meme is just funny as a meme.
You could do a bright yellow key set and we'd put something saying it looks like Olivia, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's the whole joke. Like, you just say, doesn't it look like Olivia to every single set?
Exactly, yeah. And
never get old.
The other thing as well I really like about this interest check is he's actually put a little bit of thanks into everyone else that's helped him as well, so there's quite a few people mentioned in there. It is really good to that. And Max Circuit as well. The renders are unbelievable.
Crazy good. Yeah,
so
good.
Yeah, the guy's just come out of nowhere as well, right? Max Circuit, he's a nice guy. I've spoken to him on Discord. He's a nice guy, but this whole thing just pops out of nowhere and he's just blasted these keycaps.
Yeah, it seems like there are a couple of them too. ABEC, we've been seeing a lot of his work lately too, and he's been doing stunning work.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that one with the headphones in there. That is just an unbelievable render. You've got the plants, you've got the focus, the chrome parts. Amir was telling me that he actually hand rendered all of the keycaps as well, so he just drew them himself rather than using existing files and things like that.
Wow.
Which, if that's true, that's just unbelievable. The Holy Pandas on the side,
Yep. Good stuff. Really looking forward to this one. This will be one I'm actually going to be considering picking up. Vendors still to be decided.
Yep.
as are the dates. Custom colors, so he is going for the 250 MOQ. Nothing new there. So hopefully we'll get some more information soon.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it'll do really well in group buy. Just the big question for this one is when. There's that many GMK sets running now that people are starting to look. We talked about this on the show last week. We're starting to look at February 2020 now as Keycap. So 6, 7, 8 months away in the future. So where this one's going to slot into that.
Yeah, definitely. You know what would be amazing? If GMK just had like a queue that we could all access and see which set is coming in.
Like
a calendar. Because PMK does that at least on some level.
Yeah, they
with,
have
with some of their
spreadsheet that you can get to. Yeah, they have that spreadsheet. If you know where to look, there's links public. It's not shared on their website, but it's kind of like a public link to the spreadsheet.
They used to have a queue on their website.
Okay, I don't think the queue's there anymore. I don't know. But they do. If you've got the link, you can get, and it's public link, but it's not on the website. But you can get through to their actual spreadsheet that shows what they're doing with each key set. So
yeah.
But it would be nice for GMK. Maybe that's something we should suggest to our GMK rep tomorrow night.
That's a really good idea. Since we might be having dinner with one of their representatives tomorrow.
So if you're watching, then we'll be chatting to you about this tomorrow.
We're gonna have words, Andy. We're gonna have words. He's probably not watching right now, but
no, it's probably not.
Anyways, moving on to some more GMK goodness. This is the group buy for the WoB, VOW, of course, white on black, black on white, icon extension kit. $55 gets you the kit. Pretty attractive price,
and that's
like that.
Both sets as well, by the way. It's not just for one colour, that gives you both the black on white and the white on black.
Can I open a new link?
View image.
Is that what that means here?
Yeah.
Firefox. I'm used to Chrome.
Well, I don't use this either, but yeah, that's how it works.
I mean, in Chrome, it's not called View Image. It's Open Image in New tab. What do you want from me?
And this is what I work with, folks.
Whatever, Jay. Get out of here. Trading you in for Geo.
Go on, Geo. Your turn.
It's your turn, buddy. Anyways, so yeah, here is the full kit, guys. This is basically if you maybe bought a set like GMK Minimal, or you got one of Mass Drop or Drop's GMK white on black key sets, and maybe you aren't quite as partial to text or combo mods like they currently use, and you want the icon mods, which is something I prefer.
Yeah. So I would agree with you. I prefer icon mods for everything apart from the bottom row. I like a text bottom row. That's just my thing. But icons for everywhere else, yes, please.
But also doesn't open a new tab. Firefox is awful.
Yeah, Firefox is terrible.
Is terrible.
Yeah.
Geo, please, why are we using this?
You realize Chrome was right beside it, right?
Well, it's too late now. One of the things I do like on the inclusion of this is it caters for some of the HHQB keys, like the 1.25U backspace as well. But it's also got a windowed caps lock key as well, so you've got stepped caps with a window on it as well. That's always really nice to see. Something that seems to have fallen out of favour is windowed keycaps recently. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it seems that
it's really classy. I love it.
I do as well. I really like windowed keys, but I can't remember the last time we saw them in a keycap set. 9009. That had it.
Muted has it. I have it muted on my E6 over there with a windowed caps lock step.
Yeah, but I can't remember what the last key set that was to have it. It's quite a while since we've seen it.
It's been a little bit. A little bit. Yeah. But love seeing that. Looks like great compatibility here.
Yeah, it fixes pretty much every layout you could want.
Uses the very basic stock colors CR and WS1, which is black and white respectively.
Yep.
And just like he says here, it'll work with sets like the black and GMK Minimal.
Yeah.
So
MOQ 150. These are stock colors.
Easy hittable.
Yeah.
Price is pretty solid here. I can't presume this is not going to make it. But a little bit of time queue as well. So estimated delivery late December. That's kind of just how it is. This is why I want to know the GMK queue, man.
Yeah,
just give me a list. It doesn't need to be fancy. Just be like, here are all the sets that we've done when we've done them, and here are all the upcoming
It doesn't
sets.
even need to have too much detail. It just needs to say the month and the keycap sets.
That's all I want.
Yeah?
That's all I want.
It doesn't need to say start production, end production, shipping date, or anything like that. It just needs to be the month and the keycap sets that are going to be made in that month. Simple as that.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
Okay.
So the group buy is going to end on the 31st of August. So you got over a month to join us.
Yeah, it's
pretty
been up a few
easy,
days.
guys. It is open already. So
yeah. And for those of you looking as well, the EU vendor is mykeyboard.eu for this as well. So if you guys are looking for that, that's where you can get it.
There you go. Proxies, they're good.
Proxies are good indeed.
All right, let's move on to something that I thought was pretty interesting. This is the interest check for MG Ember. This is a new high-profile profile, keep that word in mind, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Interesting.
So MG. The downside, from what I can see, is it looks just like SA.
Yeah.
If you put this side by side with an SA render, I don't think I could tell the difference.
So, where I think the difference is so I think what we should just backtrack a little bit on this. So this is a new profile, and what they're looking to do is emulate the old Topra High Pro keycaps, right? That's kind of the profile that they're trying to emulate here. And if you look at some of the keys, one of the big subtle differences that you see here that you don't see on SA, especially if you look at that escape keycap, because it's got the right kind of little detail there. The actual scoop on the spherical scoop on the inside of it is very much in that whole Topra mod. It's almost kind of got a lip around the edge of the keycap. You can feel this on MT3 as well. When you type on MT3, you can almost feel that it's got a lip around the edge. You can just see it on that shift key actually there. You can see that there's like a light across the edge where the shift where it's got that kind of lip. You don't get that on SA. It's kind of all smoothed over and rounded on SA. And I think that's what they're trying to emulate. But in terms of the profile itself, you're right, Brian, it does look like, and especially from here, it does look like the curvature is very similar to SA. But you can see the lip especially well on those ones as well. So I think the feel of them and the way your fingers rest into the keycap will feel very different, but the actual type and profile experience will feel very similar to SA.
Yeah, and as someone that has used Topra High Pro, I really do like it. Especially one of the things I like a lot is they actually dish 8 keys in the homing row.
Yeah.
So when you actually are, using proper typing procedure and you're just resting there or whatever, it's all extra dished, and it's freaking amazing. I love it. It's so comfortable. But I'm really curious to see how this is going to go over.
Yeah, I want to try it. Right, high pro caps for MX switches. Obviously, sounds great to be honest. Be interested to see what kind of compatibility they can do. And check out things like stem compatibility and all of that kind of stuff. But if it fits with MX switches and any other clones, it should be alright. I just hope we don't see like a box situation where it was slightly different and the tolerances are slightly off. But if it's been designed for it,
yeah, I feel like new switches and new keycaps are, we have to be a little worried with things like that now, just because of the whole Boxgate incident.
To be fair, the box switches were in spec, just wasn't the spec we expected it to be.
correct.
True.
That's very true.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't hear that,
This is why you should be hosting this.
Gio was just reminding Brian and I that the box switches were in the spec that they were designed for, but that spec wasn't necessarily the same as MX spec. So there were two differences in there. So everything was correct to the right tolerances for its design, but the two just didn't work together as they should have done.
We have to realize that a lot of times switches and keycaps are not designed for our community. They're designed for specific use cases by OEMs. And we are not those OEMs. And sometimes, just like with Boxgate, that can be a big issue.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of the rest of this, I think the set looks like Yolch.
This is Yolch.
It's just Yolch.
This is no difference really. It's Dolch with yellow. This has already happened. We've already seen Yolch in JTK, courtesy of Hudzy, I believe was the one on that set. But I mean, it's just a recolored Dolch, and we've seen that at least 1.8 million times in the community already.
Yeah.
So nothing terribly new as far as the colorway, but
what I would say is that the white alphas look quite nice.
Yeah, I was just scrolling down to get to that. So there is kind of a dual base kit going on here.
Yep.
They're calling it Dusk and Dawn. Dawn being the lighter alphas there, and Dusk being the darker version.
Yep.
I do think the Dawn kit looks pretty nice.
That looks nice. Well, the interesting thing is it uses the alpha color for the mods on here, so that's what they changed over as well. So the whole thing is lighter as well. But I think the Dawn kit looks particularly nice. And if I was going to look to purchase either, that'd be the one I went for. I mean, look at that rainbow. Look how nice that looks.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That actually looks like a new set, like something more original.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
As opposed to just.
I'm not sure about the other
redoing
space
it.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
the creamy white.
Accent spacebar is. It looks so goofy. I don't know.
The only set it's ever looked good on is Olivia.
Yeah. I agree, but I'm still a little salty. I'm not going to get into that.
I don't usually like accent space bars, but on that particular set, it was the right call. I think Olivia made the right decision to have it in there because it looks better.
I think having it in there is good. I think not including an alpha-colored spacebar for the option is questionable. But I've gone off on tangents on that on shows before. I'm not going to do it again. I do respect Olivia's decisions. That doesn't necessarily mean I have to agree with them. Same is true of every other designer. Regardless, set looking pretty interesting. There's also a lamp kit, which has these adorable little bees.
You say adorable. I say I don't like them.
You know what? That's pretty cute. I don't know.
It's cute, but I don't like it. Yeah.
Is that how you feel about me?
No, I like you, but you're not cute. You're the other way around.
I'm not sure which is better. Anyways, so that is MG Ember. MG being the new Tobra High Pro MX version. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can get a sample of this.
We should ask, right?
We should ask. Yeah, because could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like High Pro more than SA. So.
And the other thing as well is new profiles, some more innovation. It seems like Innovation Week, right? We've had 3 new things that have got innovation on there. I want to try new things all the time. New Keycap profiles. Why not?
That's what makes this hobby super interesting for me. Give me all that new stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have to pay close attention to this. We'll have to ask for some samples. Definitely going to do that, and hopefully we can get back to you guys with some more information once that moves forward.
Absolutely.
All right, heading over to our next interest check. This is GMK Sparta by Crusader Alex.
Sparta.
Yeah, he has Crusader in his name.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. There you go. That's it. That's all they need. Right?
Interesting. Yeah. So he does have a pretty nice kind of theme backstory going on here about the Spartans and them being warriors and stuff like that, and why he decided to go with this. So like seeing that. Put a little effort into the inspiration or the history.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the end result is. Before I give my personal thoughts on it, actually, this kind of reminds me of what a light version of Red Samurai looked like, right? It kind of feels like a light version of Red Samurai. Like we had the Dusk and the Dawn in the previous kit that we were looking at. I think this feels like the light theme of Red Samurai. Well, the Red Samurai is the Dusk Samurai, and this is the Light Samurai, right?
Oh, Dawn. Okay. Yeah.
The Dawn.
I know words. I can English. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I went to elementary school. So what do you think of the set then? You like the colors? How about the compatibility?
I really like this. I really like the colours. I really like the set. I think it looks fantastic. Compatibility is pretty good. I mean, there's no numpad in the base kit. That's the only thing that's not there. You've got your basic ISO support. You've actually got an additional key that you don't need for basic ISO support, which is a really good inclusion for pretty much every EU user, which is the apostrophe @ key. So that sits down next to the enter key there. But I think that's really strong base kit. 65% Sangan bottom row, pretty much whatever you want. 6U accent spacebar as well. There's a lot of compatibility in that base kit. Multiple arrow kits, yeah, it's great.
Yep. And we of course have a numpad kit as well, and then this I thought was really interesting.
Yes.
A Mono Legend Greek kit.
Yeah. So these are the letters that are different to the standard. English letters, but they're technically Arabic and Latin characters, right? So these are the ones that are additional. Greek keys look great. You know, you've got your alpha, your beta, your theta keys on there. Everything looks really good. I think it's a really good legend.
This looks amazing.
Now the thing is, these keys here that we're seeing here, the molds for these don't exist with GMK at the minute, as far as I'm concerned. So these ones will need new molds. But if you scroll down to the next picture, this already does exist from what I understand. So when I was speaking to a few people the other day about this, apparently the molds for this already exist, so you can have English and Greek legends on the molds, for keycaps. That is something you can already produce, which is really an interesting point actually. What would be really nice is a list of everything that GMK has.
Yeah, right? What do we have available to us?
What can we use? What have they got knocking around in that warehouse that we can actually tap into and use? Because if that
I wonder how many people knew that they had Greek sub-legends.
Right, exactly.
I bet most people in the community did not know.
Yeah, I didn't know until someone told me. My assumption when I first saw this keycap set, and I spoke to Crusader Alex about this a couple of weeks ago, he PM'd me about it a couple of weeks ago, my instant thought was that needs all new molds, and then someone literally told me yesterday that no, that already exists. You know, they've got the Korean ones, they've got the Greek ones, they've got some of the other bits and pieces that we've seen. Why don't we see more? You know?
Yeah.
I'd love to see this. This is something else to go on our list of things to ask GMK rep tomorrow night when we catch up with them for dinner. So
we're to be grilling him.
Yeah, we'll have Gio taking some notes down. He's not paying attention right now. We will have him making some notes. Look at the blank stare you give me.
All right, so finally we have this novelties kit, which is... I'm going to be honest, I don't really care for any of these.
I like the Greek word. I don't know what it means, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but I like the Greek word enter. I like the delta, so the reverse V key. I like that. That's nice. Other than that,
this feels... Look, I understand why these symbols have been chosen for the novelties, but it seems a little excessive.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I like the sword, or that is the traditional Sparta sword. But actually, Sparta, that's probably what the word is on the Keycap. Now I think about it, I can think sometimes. Yeah. I like the laurel wreaths. That's kind of, what the old Romans and things used to wear around their heads and things like that as a garland. I kind of get why that's there, but again, I'm not particularly into it. I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy the mod pack for this one. I love the key set, and I would buy the key set without a shadow of a doubt, but I probably wouldn't buy it.
I feel like I'm liking novelties and key sets less and less as a lot of these sets come out.
The thing is, whilst I don't like them, I don't want to take away from the work that's gone into them, because these are clearly well thought out, they're clearly on theme, they're on point in terms of that. They just don't speak to me. So this isn't a thing about the quality of the novels. I think they're really good. It's just that they're not for me. Again, I don't really use novelties on most key sets.
Fair enough. So we also have some beautiful renders here. Again, this is with the mixed Greek legend.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks a little busy. I want the mono legends.
I think there's a render.
Do we have renders of the mono legends?
Sure, I saw one when I was looking through this.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that has got the mono. So that's the mono legends viewers. Yeah. See if you can zoom in a little bit. So you can see there next to the Q key, you've got the Q, and then you've got the Greek legend, and then you've got A, and then you've got the Greek keys after it on the ASD.
Yeah. In a bigger image here. Let me go back down.
Don't think the quality's there really, correct?
Yeah, it's not a 4K render. Do people render not in 4K these days?
Not sure. It might just be the website that it's hosted on that's limiting it.
For sure. Anyways, vendors for you going to be Candy Keys for the EU. NA is still to be decided, and Zeal Frontier is going to pick up the Asia side of things. Price still TBA.
Yeah.
Yep. And shout out section down there. Love seeing that. Interest check form if you're into this, like we are. I want that mono, man. The mono Greek is so good.
It's so good, isn't it?
So good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's move on to the last topic on our news doc, actually, which is the interest check for the Gateron Blank Blue PBT. So this is the Imsto replica.
Yep.
So this is pretty interesting. Gateron blanks have been around the community for quite a while now. A lot of people, pretty already well versed in those. I have a few sets of my own, but we don't see them in a whole lot of color options. We get a lot of different whites. We get black, like some dark gray, stuff like that. But this gentleman here, Sifo, not entirely sure how to pronounce that,
Sifo,
has opted to bring us an all blue set, which is pretty cool. And one of the cool things about this particular stuff is it's probably going to be like $40 or so, because that's what Gateron blanks typically go for, and you get a fair amount of compatibility with that too. In a lot of previous sets, I'm gonna say this is actually not very good compatibility. This is arguably pretty bad, but that's because this is probably just for his vision. He just wants very standard win-keyless kind of esque stuff, very classic.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to support ISO and stuff, which is kind of a bummer because
he says it is unconfirmed, but the molds exist, so he can do it.
Yes.
And he doesn't need to add the 2 new keys really, because you can pick them up from other parts. Like most people didn't use the numpad, for example, so that covers those. So you just need to put the ISO and the 1.25U shift key in here. Really, for me, that's the only 2 of the ISO you need to add. In terms of the rest of the stuff that's missing, I mean, what else is missing from looking at that view? I think 65%.
Yeah, 65-75% support. HHKB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing let's look at it the reverse way. The only thing this does support is standard and win-keyless.
I mean, if you think about this though, because they're blanks, what is missing from a HHKB perspective? Because you don't need the backspace key because it's there, it just doesn't have a legend.
Okay.
So if you think about it that way, what is missing from a key perspective? Because it's not just what he's got the legends typed on here, it's what you can use the blank key for in the same spotlight.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can split the right shift. You can split the left shift if you do the
split the right shift. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a shift there and
The
there's
FN.
FN key. Yeah. So if you think about it from a blanks perspective, I think it's actually not that bad, you know.
Yeah, I think just because I was looking at them with the legends on them, because it's showing with legends on, even though it's a blank set.
You can even do split backspace as well, right?
Yeah, you just take a couple of these keys.
Yeah, whatever you're not using, right? You can use it.
Yeah, or these keys.
Yeah, whatever. You're going to have some compatibility there. So I think, depending on what, unless you want to use a full size board, I think that's the only time you're going to struggle.
That's fair. So compatibility, actually fair here. I jumped the gun a little bit. Sorry about that. But I was looking at legends, man. I'm sorry.
It is easy to get distracted by that.
I'm such a failure.
But no, you're not wrong though, because it is easy to get distracted by that. And maybe there are people that are looking at and thinking, well, does that limit my compatibility? Because they're looking at something that's got legends on the image showing the key compatibility.
Yeah.
Maybe
why they do it.
Maybe what it needs as well is it needs a list of the keys like X number 1U row 1, X number 1U row 2, X number number of 2, like an actual list of keycaps so you can work out what you need. Or maybe a list of boards that it's compatible with. You know, it fits HHKB, it fits 65%, it fits a TKL, it fits 100%. You know, it fits 60%. Maybe that's what it needs to try and address it a little bit.
I like this too. I love when people are very blunt at the end of their post.
Yeah, but what doesn't it support, right? It supports most things.
It supports a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just unconfirmed, I say.
Yeah, but the keys are there, and it just needs the two really: the 1.25U the shift key and the enter key, and that's all it needs. So it should be relatively easy to add that in.
Yeah, definitely. So pretty cool stuff. I love how cheap it is because cheap sets always cool. Try out Cherry Profile and PBT for around $40. That's pretty reasonable.
It'd be nice to see these in more colours as well, right? If we can run it in blue,
why can't you run it in any
green
color?
And red and yellow and whatever else you want? You know, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
And you could do mix and match and all sorts of stuff. It'd be really useful to see. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
The only thing that we didn't mention that is on the news doc in this is the MOQ is 100 units, but he has said it's going to get made anyway because even if it doesn't make MOQ, he'll just buy it out. So.
Yep, he's going to buy it out. So this is happening regardless, it seems like. Regardless of MOQ. So there you go.
Yeah, looks good.
There you go. All right, that is the end of our news doc actually. So we're going to talk a little bit about our sponsors before we roll into a quick Q&A.
Sure. I'm going to just change over to the channel now so that I get a longer scroll on the chat. So if you guys have got any questions, make sure you post them now.
I need sponsor stuff.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm just changing that bit over. So if you've got any questions, oh Brian, a bit lower. Oh, Max Surfy's in chat. Max Surfy renders spot on point, man. Post questions there. I've got the longer view of the chat up so I can start to watch anything that's posted from now. So I didn't get anything that was posted from Max Surfy's message. So anything post that I will get, anything price that I won't. But now we're going to roll into our sponsor segment. Do you want to roll us off, Brian? Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, of course. So we're going to start out with Zeal PC, aka Zeal Generation. I don't know why should he change his site URL? He should have a Zeal Generation.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Zeal PC isn't. I don't know. Zeal. Just change that. Anyways.
I think does it if you go to Zeal Generation, does it redirect you?
I've never tried going to zealgeneration.net.
Someone try it in chat and let us know.
Yeah, let us know how that goes. Anyways, he's got his normal array of switches that you can check out here, whether you're a fan of linears, tactiles, silent switches, and the like. He's got you covered with Zelios, Xylens, Helios, and Telios. All great switches. We have a few of them even represented on our table behind the camera there. I've been loving all of them.
Yeah.
Really good stuff, so you can make sure to check those out. And while you're here, you can use our affiliate link, which is zealpc.net/topstack. Doesn't cost you anything else, of course, but it does help out the channel a lot more than you might think. So please consider that when buying from Zeal Generation.
Absolutely, yeah. Moving on then, we've got novel keys. So lovely, Mike. Looking forward to going to dinner with you tomorrow, Mike. That's going to be exciting. One of the best parts of the trip. Mike's still got GMK Dots and GMK Vaporwave up at the minute as well. So they're both in group buy until the end of this month. So just a few days left on these now, guys. If you want to join, make sure you're going to join. Dots is doing exceptionally well from what I understand.
Surprisingly well.
Really, really well. As well as that, there's also the GMK Korean Beige Adam kit, which I think is just about to end. It might have just ended.
That ended already.
Yeah, that ended already. Yeah, okay, so that's where we've gone. I'm sure I changed this.
You had one job, Jay.
I did change this earlier.
Jay had one job.
I did change this earlier on. Anyway, there's also the Yacht Pandas up for pre-order as well, so if you guys are looking for some more switches, you want some yachts, this is the last time that these are going to be ordered in the mint and the red colourways. So if you do want to get these, jump on them now. There's only a short period of time left on this pre-order as well. So just going back, Brian's adding hundreds of packs of Yacht Pandas. We've also got the standard desk mats, pins, panda stickers, everything else that you could want. I will say that Gateron pin is absolutely fantastic. I haven't brought it with me to Seattle, but I have got it on a jacket at home, so it's going to be on my lapel for the next meeting I go into at work. It is really, really cool, and there's going to be plushies soon as well, guys. So watch out for those hitting the store in the near future. Oh yeah, and don't forget to use our promo code, which is Clackers. Which is about to change, right? That must be ready for a change now.
Mike kind of changes it whatever he wants.
Another thing to talk about.
He tells us, but it's seemingly random.
Yeah. Apparently it was going to be monthly, but I think we've had Clackers for like 3 months now.
I think this is our 3rd month.
Yeah, 3 months. But yeah, don't forget to use Clackers if you want a small discount when using novel keys on anything that's not a group buy. So anything that's in stock product, you'll get a small discount on.
Yep. Next up, we have Input Club, which is represented over at Kono.store. They have a few things going on right now. Their summer sale, you can get a few of these really, really cheap boards that are very entry level, but very, very inexpensive. Good for bringing other people into hobbies. But the big thing they have going on right now that we are super excited to check out, hopefully, is the Keystone analog keyboard. And we had talked at length about this, I think, on our last episode when this Kickstarter opened. Really, really amazing looking piece of technology. We're really hoping to get our hands on one of these soon. Test out the features, but it looks freaking amazing, and they've already well surpassed their goal on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So
200. That's in Canadian dollars.
Right? Yeah, because we're using Geo's laptop.
It wasn't in Canadian dollars a second ago when you loaded the page up. I'm sure it wasn't. I could have sworn it wasn't.
Hashtag blame Geo.
Yeah, there you go. Look, yeah. 100.
It can auto converts it because
wow, so quick.
Geo's not American.
Yeah, but $155,000. We can see that, Geo.
Yeah, but they can't, so we can't get banned.
Geo worst mod.
Yeah, Geo worst mod. We have to show him the results of Purple Chat.
Oh, Geo probably saw it. I tagged him.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, definitely make sure you check out the Keystone line because it's coming very, very soon. It is very awesome. And it's not very expensive. You can get the TKO version for only $150.
Yeah.
And the full size, I think, is $175. So relatively inexpensive as far as keyboards go. Love seeing that. Hopefully we can check one out in the very near future.
Absolutely. Jumping up to KBDfans then. So again, if you like KBDfans and you want to support them, they have got a ton of great entry-level stuff on here at the minute. So if you're looking for a keyboard kit, you want something easy to build with, that's really accessible and all of the different bits and pieces on there, then you can absolutely get this for a great price on there. So you can look at the KBD67, the Tofu boards, all really, really good entry-level boards, well worth looking at. As well as that, they've also got the GMK White on Black Rock and White that we saw earlier on. This is the Asia proxy, so if you do want to pick something up there, don't forget you'll get cheap shipping because it's KBDfans, so that is another option for you as well. And also, if you want to look for keycap sets, they've got the electrocapacitive keycap sets on there. They've got pretty much anything you possibly want to get out of those keyboards at a great price. And you know, these KBDfans are knocking it out of the park when it comes to accessibility for people getting into the hobby. If you want something that's cheap, that looks good, that's functional, you know, pretty much anything you could want available on their store right now. So feel free to go check it out, guys. Take a good browse round and try some new stuff out because it's all there for the taking.
Yeah, shout out to their second-hand market too. I've been trying to get more people to realize this is a thing.
Yeah, well, I think they have because everything's bloody sold that was on there the other day.
Yeah, they only have a couple things on here now, but I've been here at times where they have really, really cool stuff for very, very cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time they had a Tina with like V2 Zelios, and it was like $80.
Wow.
Which is like unbelievably cheap.
Even Geo's not in it.
Yeah. And like, you know, it may not be a super high-end board, but for that price, it's really, really, really good.
It's almost worth it even just taking the Zelios out of it, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, crazy stuff can also be found there sometimes, so make sure you keep your eye on that. Last but not least, we have Dixiemech over at dixiemech.com/topclack. That is an affiliate link, so if you want to help us out, make sure to use that code. You can shop straight from there. And He does have SA Bliss still going on right now. I believe that ends the end of this month, so you still have a little bit of time left on that.
Yeah.
So make sure you hop in on SA Bliss if you want some of your SA goodness. Pretty reasonable price here, $135 for the base kit.
Yep.
Like seeing that. Lots of different compatibility options as well.
I think it's been confirmed that every kit's going to get made now as well. There's no kit that's not going to get made, which is really good as well.
That is what I heard as well. Of course, he has lots of desk mats in stock, like he always does. But he also has the Pelican case group buy as well going on right now. So this is pretty cool, since they're all sold out. Almost all of them are sold out.
Wow, I wasn't expecting them to be all sold out. That's crazy.
That was pretty quick. Okay, so you can still get a couple of them. He does have the one of the more higher end ones. I think this is the nicest one that he's featuring right now at $220. The 1535 Air, and then he does still have the V550 Vault, which is kind of a more of a mid-range / budget option there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So still a couple options if you're maybe taking keyboards cross country or whatever, like a lot of these people are for the Seattle meetup. Could be a really good option for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I'll roll back to our casting couch setup here.
Yeah, casting couch. Do you want to get a bit more comfortable, Brian? Do you want to bring it in for the
Yeah. Probably do our Q&A
just
huddled up
just
a little
nice,
bit like this.
nice and
So
comfortable, yeah.
if you guys got questions, hopefully we have answers for you. Now is our Q&A segment. Make sure you tag us at Clack. Helps us out a lot so we can see the questions a little bit easier.
Well, the first two questions are actually related. Nebulant says, "What do I smell like?" And Eskimojo says, "What do you smell like?"
You smell like an attractive British man.
Wow, there we go.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood. Wow, interesting.
That's oddly specific.
Brian smells musky in a sexual way.
I will take it. We'll take it. I should put the chat up here, actually.
Yeah, get the chat, yeah.
Now
I
that
was
I'm
going to say, you can lean right over to the middle couch and sliding down that way.
Oh my
Get closer to you.
Is that a problem?
That's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Just moving up and then to Beadlock says, who are you most excited to meet? So for me, I think it's just meeting loads of the faces of people I know from Discord, right? I know all of your names. I've seen a few of your faces, but very few and far between. But I've been chatting to you. You guys have been seeing me on stream since, at least January, if you didn't watch my old streams before. There's meeting the guys that watch us, and, those of you supporters, subscribers, watchers, viewers, people who've engaged and chatted to us. That's what I'm most excited to meet. So the community at large would be my answer to that one. I don't know what your answer is to find.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to meetups around here for quite a while now, both in the Seattle area and the California area, which tend to be a lot of the bigger meetups that a lot of people like to fly into. So I've met a lot of these people already, which is fine, obviously. It's always cool to meet new people, and it's always cool to meet the people that are awesome in our community and keep doing cool things like we are.
Cool.
So yeah, pretty happy with that. It's always fun. It's always a good time. Putting names to faces is honestly the best part for me, because you talk to a lot of these people online daily. Some of them every single day, for hours at a time sometimes. But you don't always know what they look like.
Random things as well. It can be. It's not just keyboards we talk about. We talk about absolutely everything. From life to love to money to jobs to work, everything, absolutely everything. So it's great to just meet up with these people and chat to them. Oh, that's great. Why did we do that earlier? Why the hell did we not?
Why is chat not working? I opened this 4 minutes ago and nothing's happened on it.
So in the last 4 minutes, I think we've only had 3 posts on
there. Well then there should be 3 there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is.
Good. You don't have to play it.
No, you don't have to play it.
There's no way.
Look, you can see it putting it on the screen.
I don't know.
Hey, we've got it here anyway.
That's fine. Yeah, let's use this.
So I think that's...
You should pop it out here though, just make it bigger.
I don't want to pop it out because you just lost the chat there when it popped out. I don't want to do that.
But we're on different... Jay, please.
I don't know how to pop it out.
There, I unpopped it out there. From there.
Okay. Next question comes from TechFresh, and it says Wilbur and Casey design of Keycore design of brass plate with slots to increase flexibility. Number 2, revision 1. Have you seen the design and think it will still not be flexible? So I think the thing is with brass plate, right? There's the small vertical cuts that you put in the side of the keys. Brass isn't a particularly flexible material. It's a really firm material in terms of feel, and those cuts aren't going to add flexibility to it any more than a switch card does. And I just can't see them working. You need at least a couple of centimeters, probably 2 centimeter or 2U in terms of a vertical or horizontal cut for it to start making a difference. And the thing is as well that brass is across the plate, across the width of the plate, it's really firm as well. It's not that flexible. So you need some horizontal cuts as well, not just the vertical ones that go down the side of the keys. You need something across the horizontal as well, otherwise you're not going to feel anything like that.
It started.
Oh, there we go. Right, how weird.
I don't know why it took this long.
How weird, but it started now. And interestingly enough, C3 Remen is just about to just expand on what I was going to say. So the short vertical cuts don't add anything for flex. They're literally acoustic changes. That's to help improve the sound of keys across the board and make sure that all the keys sound broadly the same. In terms of the horizontal cuts, that's what you need for some flexibility in the plate. But brass isn't flexible. You're not going to feel it, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's also worth noting, like G mentioned, brass and most other metals aren't really going to flex when you type down in the way that you might think. Like they're not going to bow down like when you type on a PCB mount board, maybe a polycarbonate plate or a palm plate or something, which is a lot more flexible in terms of that particular kind of flex. But it's also worth noting that flex can kind of be perceived in a couple different ways in the community. You could also say that flex could be attributed when like you press down a key and your entire plate PCB assembly pushes down, like on a lot of gasket mount boards. Yeah. When you get a lot of the plate itself doesn't flex, but the assembly moves down slightly and makes for a much softer typing experience. And that's one of the benefits that you can get from a lot of the isolation and gasket mount solutions on the market.
Absolutely, and that's what's employed in the Kappa and the JL1 and the Bauer as well. So instead of having flexibility where you press a key and you see the plate do that kind of movement, you instead of you seeing this whole kind of movement, the whole across the whole board move instead. So yeah. Fabio's saying show off the stickers on your laptop. I'll do that towards the end of the stream. I'll bring my laptop over a little bit closer and you can see, or I'll take some pictures and share it on Discord, but there's quite a few on there. PMS in Chicken says, how is it like meeting each other in real life? It's been good fun, right? We went for dinner last night. Brian took me to a drive-through ATM today, which is like bizarre. I still don't get that. ATM
Jay's mind was blown
like,
when we pulled up to this drive-through ATM.
Just bizarre. It's like I don't understand why that's even a thing, right?
Drive-through liquor stores.
That I haven't seen yet.
Now that's something we do need. Drive-through liquor stores is something we do need in the UK. Drive-through ATM, no, but drive-through liquor stores, that is a genius idea. I want to see more of that. Yeah.
But no, it's been great.
Fun, yeah.
It was it was really casual because we've been hanging out online for so long now and we're pretty familiar with each other, so it was very natural.
Yeah. The biggest surprise for me is just how much of a unit Brian is, because as you can see now, he is a big man. He's not small in any way.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be mean, but I didn't expect you to be so short.
Like, I'm not that short. I'm like
he's mentioned it on multiple occasions.
So it's been really good. It's been
good.
really nice
great.
and natural. I mean, we're good friends online. We're good friends chatting through the Discord and stuff like that. It's just been like hanging out with a really good friend. It didn't feel like we hadn't met each other before. It felt like we've known each other for years. So yeah, it was
definitely.
Dixie said, "How excited are you all to drink Alabama sweet tea?" Yeah, because the sweet teas that I've tried here are not good. The iced teas and sweet teas that I've tried whilst I've been in the US, and I've tried 2 now. Were both terrible, and it makes me miss some of the brands we have back in the UK. Brian, are you a tea fan?
I drink a lot of tea. I don't drink much sweet tea.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever had a true good sweet tea, so I can't really comment on that. But does this mean Dixie's bringing some?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of cool.
Yes, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I've actually brought something for sashimi as well that you can't get in the US, which is a bottle of Iron Brew, which is sat chilling in the fridge for him right now. So when he gets here later on tonight, he can try that.
No, so when he gets here tonight, he can watch me drink it.
Gio says he's drank it already.
Sushi worst one, he gets none.
Sushi worst one, he gets none? Right, okay. Sushi did say he would fight you for it, but given the size of
I don't.
That's not going to happen.
That's going to be a massacre.
You're just going to take him over. Right, yeah, it's done, that's it. It's not going to change anything. Captain Schwa says the cutouts are horizontal and tabs that rest on the gaskets. Oh, okay, so I see what you mean. Okay, I'll have to have a look at it. I haven't seen the revisions, but I'll have a look at the plate and I'll post my thoughts in the Discord. Max Sefi surprised at the drive-through ATMs. Yeah, Murica, yeah. Fuck Murica. Fuck yeah, Murica.
It's the 4th time we dropped the F-bomb on stream today, Jay. Come on, man. Terms of service?
I'm British, it's fine. It's fine. Jay looks little. Well, thank you for saying that, man, because I'm actually a fat bastard.
None of us are skinny here. Let's just say that.
So being called little is kind of a compliment.
It's a compliment.
If it means that I need to be sat next to Brian more often, then fine. I'll take the compliments. 10 Strong says you never need cash at the ATM. Of course I do. I just go to an ATM. I don't go to a drive-through ATM. I just go to an ATM.
Well, you see, here in America, we're very lazy. If we can do stuff without getting out of a car,
right, okay.
Amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to counterpoint to this. In the UK, right, I don't need cash anywhere that I go. Everywhere takes Apple Pay, contactless, or chip and pin. And the cards that we get in the UK now, you can't even do chip and sign for, which seems prevalent here in the US, because chip and sign isn't seen as secure enough in the EU anymore. So we're kind of outlawing that over there now. But yet you come to America and everything has to be cash or chip and sign. There's no Apple Pay available anywhere. You can't, or the places we've been so far, you can't use Apple Pay, can't tap and go. It's literally you have to pay either in cash or you have to use chip and sign, which doesn't work with my account details. So, yeah, it is really interesting. But in terms of being lazy, would it not be easy if you could just get your watch and tap and go like I can?
Yeah, that's amazing. Give me that.
So be more lazy, Americans. Get up to speed with it. Come on.
Gosh, I hate being so active.
You hate having to
I've never been so disgusted by my American lineage. Titan asking, where's sushi? Actually, what time is it?
He taxied about a half hour ago.
To here?
He was taxiing. No, the plane was taxiing.
Okay, so
18.
Yeah, it's about 9 p.m. Pacific here, so he'll probably be here within the next half hour to 45 minutes.
Yeah, excellent. PMSing Chicken says, will you guys make a video log for the meetup? I think what we're going to probably do is we'll probably have like some short videos, like 2 or 3 minutes, where we get some people to say hi that are notable in the community. We'll probably do a couple of videos around the mod house, as we've been calling it, where we're all staying. And then we'll edit some sort of video in the next week or so and get something up on YouTube. But it'll be very casual and it won't have a ton of editing because I want to be lazy and not put tons of effort into it. But we'll get some
rough.
Yeah, we'll
like proper editing takes so long, man.
Yeah, it's not easy. Be careful of those wires, Gio. No. What should we do, man? No. So we will do something. It'll probably be very, very casual in the style that the Gingham video was. But yeah, we'll get something up.
Cool.
America making Jay do things. I know, right, man? I mean, the point is to be lazy, right, in America?
Penguin says they have drive-through daiquiri shops in Louisiana.
Why aren't we in Louisiana?
How do you... Wait. Okay, so daiquiri, for those of you that may not be informed, is an alcoholic beverage. As far as I'm aware, nowhere in America are you allowed to drink alcohol while driving.
New Orleans beer, because they classify it not as alcohol. That's part of the why everybody's
Really?
They classify
only
beer
in
as not
New
alcohol.
Orleans proper. Like there's a specific section. You're allowed walking around with beer, you can drive a beer because they do not consider it alcohol.
Very interesting. I wonder if it's
they
something
did that
similar.
during Prohibition, because since it wasn't considered alcohol, they can keep their beer.
Wow. Today I learned. Right, okay.
Hashtag
beer,
loopholes.
beer is not alcohol if you're in New Orleans, right? Okay.
Yeah, just in the party district.
So you can never get drunk in New Orleans. You can just drink all day and never get drunk, right? That's how it works, yeah?
Exactly.
Perfect.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Road trip to...
We're going.
Sod the meat out. Let's go see.
But there's still like a white lie, like not alcohol, but if you're drunk, you're drunk, so you can still pull you over for being drunk.
Oh, so you can be drunk driving, but not drink driving, right?
Exactly, because you can drink and drive and not be drunk, and you're okay with the beer.
Yeah, so
but if you're drunk, you will get pulled over and you can get drunk.
I can't. I'll have like a soda or a coffee or something else in the car quite often, but I can't imagine sitting in the car with a bottle of beer in my hand. That just doesn't compute in my head. That's bizarre.
Yep. Interesting.
Dixie, if you're using Apple Pay everywhere, then yeah, because I've struggled to even find anywhere that I can use it here. So yeah.
Tech Fresh asking, which alcohols are planned for the consumption at the Airbnb?
We need to go buy some, right?
Yeah, we'll probably go after the stream. We'll probably go do a little bit of shopping.
Yep.
Maybe grab some dinner. I guess lunch for me.
Need food. I am me, you are you, subscribed for 10 months. Currently on a 2-month streak. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you. We love that.
Appreciate that. List of options says you can drink and drive, just not be drunk and drive.
Yeah, which is what Gio was saying a minute ago. Yeah.
So let's say you're driving around here, and you have a beer in your hand.
Yeah. What happens?
It's your first beer of the day. You're not drunk. You've had a sip out of the beer.
Yeah, you've had like a mouthful.
But you're holding a beer while you're driving. You get pulled over. What do you think happens?
I imagine that you're going to get a ticket, right?
Do you think you'd get a DUI? Do you think he'd breathalyze you?
Oh, of course he'd breathalyze you. Oh, 100% you get breathalyzed, right?
100%. But you blow under the legal limit because you only had a sip. You blow well under the limit.
Yeah, I still think the act of having the beer in your hand in the car is what's going to get you into the
That's what I would think.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go try it.
I do not drink and drive.
And let us know how you get on, right? It's not, you just said it's not drinking and driving. You're not drunk, yeah. It's your first beer of the day. You know? We need someone to try this out and tell us how it works.
Yeah. Texas Breakfast says that's a DUI in Texas.
Yeah, it is in the UK.
Open container law.
Yeah. I was going to say, in the UK you can't have any open alcoholic container whilst you're in a vehicle. Or if you have got something that has been previously opened, say you've got a bottle of whiskey or something like that, you previously open, you screw the top on, it can't be within reach of the driver in the UK. That's how
I think that's how it is out here as well.
It has to be like in a separate part of the car where you physically can't get hold of it while you're driving.
Yeah.
So yeah. Back to questions, and TechFresh said, what key set, case and switch are you looking forward to seeing and trying at the meetup? So case for me would be the Bower. I'm really interested to see what the Bower looks like. Key set, I don't think there's anything I've not seen IRL, but I do have Minimal with me, which might be the only set of Minimal in the US right now. So I'll be looking forward to showing people that.
That's exclusive, Jay.
Yeah. Top Crack exclusive, right?
That's
Seattle
very exclusive.
has the only set of GMK Minimal in the US right now.
I like it.
So Dixie, you'll get to see your set. It's actually my set. It's on my board before you get your sets through the post. Something like that.
That was some 4D chess with words.
Switch. I'm hoping that there's going to be a silent switch there.
So I did ask if any Input Club representatives were coming, and Andrew was like, I don't know, I'll see who's free. And that was all I got. Right. So there could be...
That's what I want to see there. That's in terms of Switch, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I believe Andrew's in China, and I think Hata's also traveling. They have a few more guys on staff, but I don't know if any of them are going to be there. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Hopefully. That'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah. What about key sets and cases?
I think we're pretty much the same. You know, we've seen a lot of things. We've tried a lot of things. And I don't mean to sound like negative when I say this, but like I'm not really looking forward to a lot of the boards at the meetup. Like I've done this before. It's not our first rodeo. It's more the people, the actual community, the feel, the atmosphere, the fact that people can and should, you know, try out all these new products that they may have never used or seen before. The fact that other people are able to do that, and I was once able to do that, is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Okay, next question says, from Dixie says, I have dibs to be first to see. Oh, he wants to see Minimal before I show anyone else. You have to come to...
Do you want to grab it?
It's been on stream. I built it on stream. So it is there.
Oh, okay.
It says, it was quicker for GMK to ship the sets to my keyboard, then for my keyboard to ship it to me, then for me to fly to the US, and then that's faster than him getting his sets from GMK Direct, which is crazy, right?
So you should have just sent all of the sets to mykeyboard.eu and then have them send all of the sets to Jay for the US.
Yeah, rip my baggage allowance, yeah.
And then we'd all have Minimal right now. I would have my Minimal right now.
Right now, you would have your Minimal. If Gio's ordered it, he would have his Minimal, and I would have 1,000 sets of Minimal.
I don't see the problem.
Well, neither do I, because I have 1,000 sets of Minimal. That's a pretty big bargain chip there.
For free. That's a really good value.
Exactly, and you would get your set for free because, well, he's not going to take the sets off you, is he?
Yeah, and I came up with the idea, so I should get like 500 sets.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good.
You pick me up from the airport, we split that.
Yeah, easy. Very good.
Yeah. Dixie, why wouldn't you do that? You have to fight Brian to get the sets back off us, but...
I feel like Dixie would kick my ass. I
don't know. He says only 4 pallets. How many carry-ons is that? Like 100? I am me, UIU says, I'm going to have that HBCP Proto Round 2 with me. My new favourite board. Can't wait to feel that Bower there too. Yeah, HBCP will be nice to see.
That's cool. I did not know the HBCP was going to be at the Seattle meetup.
Yeah, I feel like...
Very cool.
The Proto Round 1 went to KeyCon, I think. I've seen pictures of it anyway. meetup. But yeah, I'd like to see that. I've still not seen a number 2 in real life as well, so I'd be keen to see one of them.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a pretty wide range of boards there because there's so many people, so we'll be able to see pretty much anything.
Yeah, Penguin says the Drug Lord keyboard ever shipped. That's that one, I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah, the hot swap.
It hasn't
everything.
shipped as yet. It's at the warehouse in China on Superbuy, so what I need to do now is actually arrange for all the stuff that's in the warehouse to be shipped to the UK. But I didn't want to do that whilst I had a trip planned, so I'll sort that out when I get back home.
Beadlock's asking he would like to hear who has the best lube job at the meetup. That's an interesting thing too.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of just do habitually. I don't really talk about it, but like when I'm typing on lube switches, I'm like, how are these? Like, who did this? You know, maybe compare them. Some people not so good at lubing, turns out.
Sounds good.
I think that's actually caught up on questions. We'll wait a few more minutes here. So if you guys have any last minute questions, get those in now.
For sushi.
Oh, so it should be 10 minutes. So guys, if you can give us enough questions last 10 more minutes, you might get to see Sushi arrive and be on the stream.
Watch as he walks in, trips over this cord,
and
pulls the cable out. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, the front door is literally right here, guys, as well. So
yeah, it's like right over here.
To get anywhere else, and he has to cross.
There's an Ethernet cable like suspended, like in the air, like crossing here.
Texas Breakfast says, I want to know who has the Chinese caps at the meetup. Well, the Chinese caps that we have right here, right now, aren't on any boards because they're some secret caps that I have that are really shiny. I shouldn't have said that, but I did.
Just don't say anything more.
Yeah, I'll keep that quiet. Yeah.
For now. When can I say something about that?
I can say something about it when someone else says something about it more publicly, but I need to wait for them to say something public so I can say more about it.
Got it.
Yeah. But I'll have something to say about something soon. And it might be shiny.
Pork Chop Express asking, how do you feel about Plum EC versus Topra? Looking at the new Micro 82.
Have you tried a Plum EC?
I've used several Plum boards.
Never tried one.
I used to go through a lot of, we call them Nopra slang for...
I like that, yeah.
Kind of like a faux Topra. Yeah, I've used quite a few of them. They're okay. They're nothing even remotely close to Topra in my experience.
Oh, really?
It's very, very big difference.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
So you wouldn't even say it's like 80% of the way or anything like that?
If I had to give it a percentage, I would give it like 40 at best.
Wow. It's a really far removed.
Yeah. You can still do mods to it too, obviously, but
instead of comparing it to Topra, what are they like as a board to use? Is it a nice experience? Is it a poor experience? In isolation for itself, what's the product?
It feels like a nice rubber dome. In the sense that Topra also feels like a nice rubber dome. But Topra has a very luxurious kind of feel, in my opinion. Whereas this felt a little cheaper. There's not as much tactility. It feels maybe a little inconsistent.
Okay, interesting.
Doesn't sound quite as nice, in my experience. You can still do a lot of mods to them, like you can with Topra, which is cool as well. But, yeah, not really for me.
What about value for money? Because they're quite cheap from what I remember, right? They're relatively inexpensive.
They are relatively expensive.
Yeah, compared to Topra boards anyway.
It's true.
Does that change your opinion?
Not really. I think I would rather just not get one, save up a little bit more, and buy like a used HHKB or a secondhand something or other.
Interesting. Okay, next question comes from TechFresh again. Who do you think will surprise you the most, having never seen or met them before that you know will be there? So we actually met up with Langalandia early on today, Jeff, who's behind GMK Cafe. We went out for coffee and lunch with him. It was really nice. He really surprised me. It was not what I was expecting at all. I don't know if you felt the same. I was expecting very different.
What were you expecting, Jeff?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of almost expecting and I'm going to say this in a really endearing way, and I mean it in an endearing way. I was expecting almost like some country boy, almost like what you think, almost like what Dixie, country boy. That's kind of what I was expecting, yeah. But that's not the impression that I got overall from him meeting him in real life.
Yeah, I've talked to him a fair amount on voice chat now, so I kind of understood his personality a little bit. But it's always weird putting a face to a name because you're like you have this image in your head of what someone might look like based on how they sound, which is stupid. There's no real reason to do that.
Yeah. But like when you ring up the bank and you hear a woman on the phone and think she sounds hot, and then you know that she's Jan, she's 65, and she's probably like someone's grandmother, and But yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm not gonna touch that one, Jay. Not gonna touch that one.
Okay.
Beadlock asking for any meetup tips. Interesting. That's a really good question.
And the first answer was a good one too from TechFresh.
Bring something to write down your thoughts and opinions on what you like. Yes, I think that's a really good thing. The other thing is don't take too much as well, because quite often you can take far too much to a meetup and you're lugging something around for the sake of it. Just take what you're really proud of. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards. Don't take 50 boards unless you have to.
I love having to take 50 boards. Situation I'm always in.
To be fair, right, because we're known for having the boards, we get asked to take a lot of stuff. I'm sure you've had people asked to. But if you haven't been asked to take something specific, but you want to take something to show it off, do that. Yeah. Don't be lugging stuff around just for the sake of it, because 10 keyboards is a hefty amount of stuff to move around. I brought 5 and it took up half my baggage allowance, and in my suitcase I was struggling on which clothes to pack because I had so much for the keyboards. So just really try and pack light and bring the barest amount of what you can. I think that would be my tip.
Great tip from TechFresh there too. Something to write your thoughts and opinions down.
Absolutely.
There's multiple ways you can approach a media. I can English, I swear. So when you're at a meetup, what are you there to do? Are you there to interact with the community, maybe network a little bit, get to know people, make some friends, or are you there to try keyboards? Because you could go for both, you can go for one or the other, but I feel like if you're new in the hobby and you're just looking to try things because you don't know what you like and you want new experiences, just ignore the people and just type on as many boards as you can. Get that notepad.
Yeah.
Write some stuff down. Figure out what you like and what you dislike. Maybe ask people.
Yeah. Don't expect to get a good sound experience though, because the boards will sound very different if you took them home. It's always loud at meetups. The setup's very different. It's more open space in the rooms that you're in. It's probably not going to be a good analog as to what you're able to use it in at home. It's going to be on a firm desk rather than a desk pad, for example. It's just going to be difficult to hear. So maybe don't concentrate on the sound, but concentrate on feel specifically here.
Yeah.
Fanny packs to carry the swag.
Fanny packs to carry the swag, because there's going to be stickers
for all the things that you win for giveaway.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, actually, we've got a very limited amount of top pack stickers which we ordered as a bit of a test with our new lag one. Gio was the first person to get one because he's here in the mod house. But if you do come see, Brian or I will have a selection of those in our pockets. We'll be feel free to give them out until they aren't there anymore. So if you do want a top pack sticker, do come and see us. But there's not that many of them. They're very limited in terms of the volume we have. So first come, first served on that. We should divvy them up and keep them in our pockets and hand them out.
Yeah. Do you have to get them from your pockets?
That would be an interesting way. They have to sneak them from your pocket.
Yeah, but if we do this right, your wallet's going to go, your phone's going to go. Let's not encourage people to pickpocket us, right? That's not what I want to do.
Just got to pick the right pocket.
Yeah.
Don't pickpocket Jay, all right?
Yeah. My pockets are so low and that short that you wouldn't be able to pick them anyway. You'd have to crouch and bend over to pick them. Oh. Llama Farmer says, are you in Seattle right now? Yeah, man, this is Seattle.
Yeah, we're currently at our AirBnB, which is where we're staying for the kind of several-day expanse for the Seattle meetup.
It's about a 20-minute drive from the meetup?
Yeah, we're roughly 20 minutes away from the meetup right now, the meetup location, the venue. Of course, the meetup isn't until Saturday. Today for us right now is Thursday, so we wanted to get here early and just kind of hang out. There's a lot of us coming. We wanted to have some extra time to meet people, just have a good time with each other outside of the meetup, because the meetup's only going to last a few hours anyways. Yeah. So, it's always good to...
And I didn't want to come for the sake of a meetup on a Saturday and fly all this way to just go for 5 hours. It made more sense to come and meet Brian, catch up with people, and spend some time actually exploring Seattle and things like that as well. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Heck yeah.
Clavier didn't tag us, but he said, who's someone you'd love to meet, regardless if they're at meetup or not? Who would you like to meet? Is there anyone in the community you've never met that you would like to?
And I feel like the easy answer is yes. But I'm...
Well, who though?
I'm trying to process right now, Jay.
He does say who's someone, not is there someone. He's asking for a person. While Brian's thinking of an answer, there's a couple of people who won't be at this meetup, who I won't get to meet, but who I would love to meet. I'd love to meet Thomas Cryotron. I'd like to meet him in real life because he's got a great voice, and maybe that's something I should add to my EU road trip actually. I'd also like to meet Christoph from GMK. For those of you who don't know, he's the guy who runs the Keycap division of GMK. I think his parents own the company, or he owns the company or something, or part owner or something like that. But he's quite senior at GMK, but he seemed like a genuinely nice guy from the email exchange.
I've met him. He is very nice.
Oh, have you? Nice. Yeah, I would like to meet him at some point. That's definitely high up on my list of things to do.
Yeah. I'd like to meet, I think Wilbur would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Ride on the Bay.
Yeah,
Very
right.
cool.
I would love to meet as well, yeah. In terms of Wilbur, I don't want to meet Wilbur and talk about anything keyboard related. I just want to go and
That's
get
true.
drunk with him. Just
Exactly,
literally
yes.
want to go and get drunk with Wilbur
Yes.
because I think he'd be amazing.
Yeah. If Wilbur and I talk about keyboards, we're just going to wind up arguing. But,
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel
Same,
like
right?
if we just go out and like hang out and drink, things
It'd be
are going to go really
It'd be
well.
really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that would be a better way to do it.
Olivia, I've never met Olivia.
Yeah, I've not met Olivia, but
She's a good man. You should definitely meet her.
I've spoken to her a lot in voice chat. We used to play a lot of video games together, things like that. So I would like to meet Olivia in real life as well. And Norbauer as well. I'm hoping he's going to be there tomorrow, actually.
I'm not sure if either. I haven't heard anything from him. I've met him numerous times, though. Norbauer is a freaking delight. He is such a grade A human being.
And he's he's what I like to call someone who's neat in terms of he's very precise and he does what he says he's going to do and he does it for this reason and that reason and he doesn't deviate from that. He's like he has a very structured way of looking at life.
Yeah,
And
he's
very
very intelligent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He strikes me, as that kind of person. I would love to meet him just for that. I think he reminds me he's in the same mold of YouTubers like CGP Grey and people like that, and you've got that kind of mindset to him.
I am me or you is asking if the Kepler is going to be there. Yeah, so there's going to be multiple Kepler there. I think I'm going to have mine. I know 159, who's also going to be sharing our Airbnb, is bringing at least one of them.
Oh, is he? He said he wasn't sure.
Kepler 65.
And
Well, he's having that shipped here, I think.
Oh yes.
So the latest news on the Kepler situation is there will be multiple Kepler TKL boards there. He's having the prototype shipped to the Airbnb that we're staying in.
Yeah, for the 65.
For the 65.
The forged carbon fiber, right?
I think it's just the aluminum top.
Yeah,
Right
it's
now.
not. It's just the aluminum. It's not the forged one just yet, but it's the prototype of the
The
aluminum.
proto aluminum. They haven't finished the molding for the carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Awesome. It looks like that's it.
Yeah.
Need 7 more minutes.
7 more minutes. Are you tracking?
We don't have to be streaming when Sushi gets here.
Yeah, he'll be on the next stream because we're going to do
Yeah, because we might actually stream more tonight and or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
if not tonight, then
let's just wrap up the episode for now, so we can kind of arrange some things a little bit nicer.
Anything else you want to finish the stream out with, Brian?
No, just if you're going to the Seattle meetup, you're going to be at the Seattle meetup. Come say hi. Give us
don't be shy, guys.
Don't shake my hand either, unless it's like a business professional thing. Just hug me.
Oh, you're such a softie.
We're all friends here. We family. And ask for a sticker. We'll have stickers on us, of course. And
ask for a sticker because once the stickers are gone, that's it. We're not getting any more of this particular run reproduced. We'll be getting some different ones done in the future. But they'll have the same logo and things on, but these particular ones, this is the only place they're going to be. And there is a very, very small number of keycaps as well. So they are going to the people that stay in the Airbnb first, but there'll be a handful left over. And I think it's literally going to be 5 or 6 keycaps left over. So if you do ask us for one, we might be kind enough to
really limited.
we might be kind enough to share 1 or 2 out. But you'll have to be very, very nice and ask us in a very nice way to get one of those off of us.
Casual stream with TC regulars after stream. Yeah, so if we do stream again tonight, we'll probably take a little bit of a break. I know it's already a little bit late.
Yeah.
We need to eat. We need to eat. We need to shop. We need to welcome Sushi in when he gets here.
Yep.
And figure some things out. And then actually, 159 is actually arriving not too long from now. I think, as well, like a couple hours.
Yeah, 10:30 said last.
Yeah, so we need to prep for some stuff. So, guys,
it's all gonna be good.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you enjoy the Seattle meetup if you're going to be coming, or if maybe you can see some of the content that we'll be providing for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We greatly appreciate it. So shout out to all of you for being amazing. We definitely appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
Yep.
And we'll catch you hopefully in a little bit. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe both. We'll see. But be on the lookout. We'll definitely post in the announcements channel of the Discord if we are going to, and when we are going to.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, guys. We appreciate it.
See you later, guys.
Gio, say bye.
Bye.